I always think back to the Father Richard story that he tells of the man who was passing away, and that, just tell him that I'm trying, tell God that I'm trying. That's generally been my motto of late is I'm trying, right? Like it's, by no means are we perfect or anything of that nature. It's,
in our life, our life is messy, and, I think I don't want to paint this picture that we're like this perfect family that sits down half the time we're praying and my daughter's playing pretend with her rosary and not praying along at all. Or there's a kid that's leaving the table, or, it's...
Generally milk gets spilled, something of that nature happens.
It is chaotic and it's messy, but there's a lot of beauty in that too. Yeah. At least 2 or 3 times a week, we try to have a family meal together, and at the end of the meal, we usually pray together. And so during Advent, we usually use our Advent wreath as a way to pray and to mark the time as being special in the year. And usually what that looks like for us is, lighting the candles. We might listen to O Come, Emmanuel, and then we usually do some sort of devotion. And we've done different ones over the years. So we've done like a Jesse tree one year where we kind of read about different people in the history of salvation. And then this year we're going to do more of a question-based devotional. You turn down the lights and you light the candle in your Advent wreath. Like, how does that make you feel? Like, what is that light doing to the darkness? And so it's just sort of this open-ended question to spur a discussion. I thought that would bridge the gap between allowing the younger kids to be part of the conversation, but allowing our older teens to be able to bring their own thoughts in.
Well, sometimes I'm looking at the clock, right? Like, it's close to bedtime, so I'll be honest, right? And kind of from that point of view, but and then you see that excitement, and it's that reminder of, what Advent is building towards something, right? Yeah. And we're preparing, right? Kind of for that arrival.
Yeah, and I think their excitement helps remind us of the specialness of the season too.
Yeah.
I think the other thing that we do during the day is that we try to encourage our children to do more acts of service. So we use the giving manger, which is basically an empty manger and then a pile of straw. And so when, especially our younger children, they do something nice or they make a good choice, then they can put a little piece of straw in. And sort of this idea of making room for Jesus in the manger, making him a nice bed of straw, but also making room for him in our hearts by just opening our hearts to being more open to serving other people. For our older teens, what they usually do is they help with buying something for the giving tree at St. Gabriel's, and then they do chores around the house to earn money to help pay for the gift. And so that's a way for them to sort of see how their acts of service within our home can then impact the community.
And I think part of it for them is just creating the habit, right? So like when she talked about the straw, they'll try to think about things throughout the day that they can do to earn the straw, right? But that becomes habit then, right? And it becomes an opportunity, to her point, to be compassionate or to share or to really think about someone other than themselves, right? Kind of from that point of view. So it's pretty powerful.
I could have this beautiful picture of all sitting down every night, taking 15 minutes together and doing this, but I've realized that my kids are growing in their faith, whether it's perfectly organized or it's a chaotic mess. And, that is the Holy Spirit. That is God's grace working through all of our busyness, all of our schedules, our 5 minutes here, our 15 minutes here. And I've just realized that I'm not in control of it. That's the Holy Spirit, and I just have to be okay with whatever time we're given in that day to just try to make the best use of it and be okay with it being messy.